Hello from Stirling Castle in Scotland, the setting for many military struggles in the past. Now it's the starting point for an unforgettable Highland adventure. Welcome to the United Airlines UK Challenge. Over the next 3 days, 60 teams will spread out across Scotland in 8 stages that are sure to test them to their very limit. Here's Patrick Winterton with more.
The UK Challenge started in the shadow of the Wallace Monument 27 years ago and has grown to become the world's leading team-building event. A competition steeped in history and heritage, Stage 1 in Stirling Castle is set to be an incredible homecoming. The event has attracted 57 teams from companies all over the world. Help for Heroes ambassador Jodie Kidd is on hand to start them off on the first of 7 stages, each designed to test mind, body and teamwork to the full. The start won't always be so dramatic, but there's always a mad dash for the instructions. Not until they have them do they know exactly what they're going to do, and each of the stages has a time limit, so every second counts. Alongside the corporate teams are 3 teams from partner charity Help for Heroes. They're here to raise awareness and for the many benefits the event provides.
I do daft sporting challenges to keep on top of my PTSD. I have to do sport basically to keep going. So Help for Heroes keep throwing daft challenges at me, and it's great. I enjoy it, love it.
I'm confident about our sense of humour. I think we'll always find humour in it. What am I worried about? All of it. We met each other an hour ago. None of us can really run very well anymore. I don't think any of us ever been in a canoe. And I was an officer in the Royal Marines, so I definitely can't map read.
Alongside the service personnel is a team of supporters, their role crucial and ongoing.
I got involved with Help for Heroes a couple of years ago through my partner Andy, who's on a separate team to us today. He had a lot of help for PTSD, and I'm his band of sister, his carer as such. And he wrote me up for some stupid challenges, long distance triathlons and things, and here we find ourselves in another endurance event that I'm not too sure what to expect. It's just amazing, the camaraderie and the physical benefits for the people taking part, as much as the charity. It's just no end, you know.
Between them, the teams raising an astonishing 100,000 for Help for Heroes. And at this stage, it's absolutely crucial they keep their heads as they try to crack codes and coordinate times and navigate around Stirling. Just hours in, and already rivalries have formed and favourites emerging. AWE are challenge stalwarts. They've entered at least one team every year since 2005, and they've won the event on 5 occasions.
Currently this team is the defending champions from last year, and the company as a whole has a whole history. We've got a complete mixed bag. We've got some program managers, project managers, engineers, physicists, and you know, regardless of what's gone in the past, we will do well, I'm sure.
But AWE aren't the only team here with a long pedigree. Accenture have multiple teams and they've won this on 3 occasions. 9 times they've been the best mixed team. This year, they're attempting to win the overall as a mixed team.
We've won it a couple of times in the past, and we're hoping to do so again. Always nice to be number 1.
The first 2 stages on day 1, both having a time limit of 1.5 hours, but the idea is to pick up as many time bonuses as you can, and it's Accenture who've exceeded everyone else with a very good performance. They lie in top spot ahead of AWE. The time, 20 minutes 40 seconds, and quite a big margin between the top 3. After a couple of hours sleep, the teams head northwest from the foothills towards the Highlands. They swap the cobbled streets and the castles for the lochs and the mountains. Loch Lomond is the largest stretch of fresh water in Scotland with 39 tree-covered islands. But it's the high road that will separate the teams on this occasion. This is the team's first real test of endurance, and they'll have to summit Ben Lomond to stay in the game.
Bit tired, not a lot of sleep last night, but hoping for a nice gentle run today. Very strategic. There's a lot to take in, so probably have to do a little bit of planning before we start running.
But it's not long before the running starts. And once again, the mad dash to get the instructions for the stage. A dash with a difference as they take to the water on this occasion. And with so many teams inexperienced in canoes, there's a little bit of canoe carnage. Well, those teams that are smart enough to put their better paddler, their stronger paddler at the back, have no problems at all and gain just a few valuable seconds as they try and find out exactly what this stage involves. Accenture have a habit of minimising mistakes and being consistent.
Went pretty well. We didn't capsize. We came like 4th back or something, so it was pretty good.
And after that start, it's all about climbing. Up Ben Lomond, the Beacon Hill, just under 1,000 metres.
Anything you're worried about today?
Get to the top of that hill. We have a plan to get to the top of the Munro, but whether we make it or not, I'm not quite sure.
Well, their plan is to pick up maximum bonuses by summiting the mountain on 2 occasions and, of course, staying within the time limit.
Stage 3. Shuffle runs up and down a massive mountain.
Summiting Ben Lomond twice is an ambitious plan for Accenture. Other teams have different priorities, soaking up the mind-blowing views.
Oh, that was brilliant. First mountain climb. Yeah, fantastic.
And of course, the exhilaration of being exposed to the elements. For Accenture, their ambition has paid off. They've pulled ahead in the rankings, having summited twice. And AWE find themselves back down in 3rd, 25 minutes adrift. After Ben Lomond, the teams move east to Lockhard for what was due to be the longest stage of the competition. Another multi-sport event with a swim, a potentially team-separating event, an open water swim, very cold, very fresh, and something that 1 or 2 competitors won't be looking forward to. Well, the canoes in action again, and teams already looking more proficient than their first outing on Loch Lomond. AWE lying down in 3rd place. They won't be happy with that and will have to draw on past experiences and, of course, their pre-event preparation.
It's been quite a few months now, selection after Christmas, so as a company we choose the teams and we've run our own practice stages, so we give our own selves a taste of the challenge before it, and then yeah, we've been up here for a couple of days seeing the sights and getting used to the hills, so we think we're prepared.
Well, preparation never did anyone any harm, and AWE reaping the rewards, their fitness showing as they take to 2 wheels. And they find themselves back in the lead. A 9-minute margin over Accenture. PwC going from 6th to 3rd on stage 4. All the teams involved in their own personal battles and finding out that it's about far more than physical effort.
Fantastic. It's pretty challenging, but I think the element of team building, the element of kind of strategizing and stuff, it's been pretty amazing. We're learning a lot about each other, that's for sure. We hate midges, you know that.
And how about help for heroes?
A lot of map reading. Unfortunately, we had a really good guy in the team that can do that. We're all pretty much at exhaustion point now.
And they still have 1 day to go, and it's all based back in Stirling. The first 2 stages involving code breaking and investment strategy, and that played into the hands of Accenture, who've shown great mental agility so far. And that has put them back into the lead ahead of AWE. But the top 5 teams all have a chance of winning this competition, with the final stage still remaining. And it's a nice balance of physical and mental. But before they can even get underway on that final stage, they have to solve this dingbat. We'll give you the answer after the break, and we'll find out which teams are still thinking and moving fast as the pressure mounts.
Welcome back to Stirling for the final stage of the United Airlines UK Challenge. After 2 days of grueling mental and physical effort, teams must now raise themselves for one final push of mind and body.
Well, it's the perfect setting for the start of the final stage. AWE are looking a little tense. They've won this event on 5 occasions. They want to make that 6. Standing in their way, Accenture, who've excelled in all the mental problems. The harder the mental challenge, the better they seem to do. With 3 victories to their name, they know how to win this. And they've got just under a 10-minute lead over AWE. But with a series of problems to solve, that lead could so easily evaporate. It could go either way. They start at Airdrie Castle on bikes, and it's a stiff climb up through the woodland to the first of the brain cells. There they have a problem to solve. If they can do it, they can leave. If they can't, they'll be held for a full 10 minutes. There's a second brain cell back at Airdrie Castle where they'll ditch the bikes before starting the final on-foot section. It will take them to the top of Demayan through a brain cell on the way up and another on the way back down. Physically, this is a very challenging leg. Mentally, there's potential to lose 40 minutes worth of time. That could be decisive in this year's competition. And each of the teams knows it. So here we go for the final time. The mad dash for the instructions, and it's Nick Houghton in the pink socks for AWE who leads the way, as he has done on so many occasions. But will he be able to lead his team to victory? He's got just over 9 minutes to make up on Accenture. The pace has slowed a little for the Flash, as he's known.
Tired, but lots of Red Bull, bit of caffeine, last push. Hopefully an hour and a half, if not less sooner, and we'll be done, I think. So.
Everyone happy in the team?
Sort of. I'm looking to rotate strike, make the most of our subs on this one, give everyone a go. We'll finish as a team regardless.
Well, that's a good attitude, and they think they've got the answer to the first of the dingbats, but he's actually gone to the wrong place. The marshal is in the other direction. Paul Nunnice, the clue, and we'll have the answer for you in just a moment. Houghton's got it, and his team are underway. Accenture, just that little bit calmer. They've got it as well. Neck and neck as they head for the first of the brain cells. Remember, this is the final leg.
Less about strategy in terms of getting the right people doing the right things, which is normal, good teamwork, and then just pushing ourselves hard, making sure that we get the right answers to the puzzles and we don't waste time on the puzzles.
Their approach so far has worked to perfection. None inside police is, of course, sister-in-law. And all the teams cracking that one on their way, and it's pretty tough bike ride, little technical riding initially, and then up one of the steepest hills in Scotland, and that will certainly sort the teams out. Accenture, as always, working nicely as a team. AWE, on the other hand, just that little bit split. Fractured, you might say. And it's an approach that hasn't really worked throughout the competition. They're still in the running for a win, but you can't help thinking it could have been a little bit easier for them. And as it happens, both teams arriving at the first brain cell, neck and neck.
Yeah. Right. I'm the last person, yeah?
Well, there's your anagram. Voices rant on. Not too difficult if you're sitting around a table in a pub.
The sooner we get it, the sooner we can leave. If we can't solve it after 10 minutes, then or we can leave anyway, but that's 10 minutes wasted, so see if we can get it. I'm not very good at anagrams.
Is that hard?
It's really hard. Hard for me.
As the two lead teams struggle with the anagram, other teams arrive, just adding a little bit to the pressure. AWE
try it, can't we?
think they have a solution. If they have, it could be just the advantage they need. Shake of the head, it's not the correct answer. Yet more teams arriving. GCHQ, now they can't crack it, no one can.
Got it, let's go!
Well, that didn't take long, and GCHQ the first away, having been in the brain cell for just a matter of seconds. It's got to be written down. There you have it, conversation. And it looks as though Accenture have got it as well. They're checking out. And suddenly AWE under all sorts of pressure. Not only is their win looking less likely, second place might be difficult to defend. And their 10 minutes just about up. They've resigned themselves to taking their full quota of time. So Accenture with just the advantage they need, AWE having to do what they've done all through the competition and push at absolute maximum. And by the time they reach Airdrie Castle, AWE have got Accenture in their sights again. They're both through Brain Cell 2 without any problem at all, and now they start the ascent of Dumaillet up towards Brain Cell 3. And it's not long before AWE retake the lead. Accenture must have a little bit of concern, but they know there are still 2 brain cells to go. And here's the first of them, a back bearing on Wallace Monument required, and AWE fastest of all, but only a few valuable seconds gained on this occasion. And then they make their way to the summit of Dumaillet, and from the top you can see the Forth Road Bridge, the Pentlands, the Campses, the Trossachs, and a vast expanse of central Scotland. On the way down, AWE get to see the opposition, Accenture, now trailing by some 3.5 minutes. They have no time to enjoy the view, others do.
Fantastic! Beautiful! Well worth it. Thank you.
AWE once again running well. This is the final brain cell. This could be the decisive moment. Accenture now just a little further behind. But the margin will not be much bigger than 3 minutes. It's all about solving this problem. Once again, the penalty for not solving it is a 10-minute wait. Every form of code at hand for AWE. Here's the problem they've got to do. What do the 3 stars represent? That 3.5 minute lead has now gone. Accenture arriving second in the final of the brain cells, and they go straight up to AWE, and that will put pressure on the blue team. Houghton with his second attempt, another failure. Accenture calm, methodical. Is that going to be the way to approach this one? AWE in danger of overthinking this one. It doesn't necessarily have to be a very complicated code. It could be Morse, Pigpen, Semaphore. They've got the books, but they're not much use unless they've got a list of Christmas carols in the back. Another try from AWE, another failure. Houghton's knocking up a few extra miles, and you can see the answer, TTD. I'm sure many of you have got it. 2 turtle doves. How frustratingly simple. But it's easy when you know the answer. Accenture's Leo with an answer, and he gets the nod. Accenture are away, and they've got just over 1.5 kilometres to go, predominantly downhill towards the university campus. How much of a lead do they need? AWE certainly the faster team.
Well, don't have any ideas right now. Can't see any pattern. It's got to stand for something, but I don't know yet.
So for the second time on this final stage, they fail to solve a problem.
Can you catch him?
I think so. They were tiring, I think. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be close.
A positive attitude can go a long way, but to gain 2 minutes over 1.5 kilometres may sound like small margins, but it's a big, big ask, despite the teamwork. Accenture, no panic in their ranks, they look comfortable. AWE still pushing 100%. It's been a fabulous effort from them, but it's Accenture who are going to take the win in Stirling. The UK Challenge champions for 2017. A combination of strength and strategy, problem solving, and above all teamwork. Accenture have topped the lot, and it's kept them ahead of their great rivals AWE.
I think the trust we've got in this team, a bit of experience, knowing that trust in our strategy. So when we're challenging ourselves to do something in 20 minutes, then we will do it in 20 minutes. We've had our highs and lows, and exhilarated at the moment.
Great effort from AWE. They know where their weaknesses were.
We'll learn for next year. Puzzles, puzzles, puzzles. That's made the difference this year. I think fitness was there over Accenture, but I think those puzzles and those few bits would have made that difference today.
And another event finished by the teams representing Help for Heroes. Many, many friends made throughout.
We're working alongside with guys we've never met before, the girls working together with people they haven't met before. It's just brought us all together, and it's just been a wonderful experience.
And that is what it's all about, and the look on the faces of the Land Rover team tell us all we need to know.
Oh, I'm feeling great. Yeah, really elated, really pleased to have finished.
It's been fantastic to take part in this again. It's probably the world's best team building challenge. There's nowhere else you can put that many people on the start line together as complete strangers, and you've made best friends the rest of your life.
Tired but elated. It was fantastic. We just did amazing. Our guys actually got to the top of the mountain, which was fantastic as well. So every member of the team just gave absolutely their all. So it's fantastic.
Everyone worked really well together as a team. It was so good. Really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was going to be this challenging, physically and mentally. It was absolutely brilliant. It was such a good feeling.
When does next year start?
Well, next year's event takes place in South Wales, the Brecon Beacons. And AWE, who were undone by 2 turtle doves this year, will get their chance for revenge. But I think there might be some stiff competition.